What's the groove, gardeners? I wanted to talk to you guys about variety, about monoculture. I wanted to talk to you guys about growing monoculture and what that means exactly. Mono just means one. So when you go into monoculture, usually big farms that grow maybe corn, and they only grow corn in a large field, that would be a monoculture. They're just growing one thing there. I think it's more important to grow more of a polyculture, right? I think it's more important to have diversity. Why is it more important to have diversity? It keeps the pest away. It keeps the pest away. It keeps your soil very rich. Why? Because if I was to only be growing peppers in this whole bed, then everything that peppers use would be depleted from the soil, right? And once it's depleted from the soil, and I go to grow more peppers there, I won't be able to grow any more peppers because the soil will be depleted of what peppers need, right? But if you grow in a polyculture and diversity, you see none of these plants are really having a problem here. There's a lot of diversity here. And none of these plants are having a problem, right? Everyone's just growing together. Like I said, just like a forest, right? We just mimic nature. And these plants do that same thing. They don't fight for sun, fight for space, fight for nutrients like you were taught. I mean, they can if they really had to. Other than that, you have things that are just purely in the dark right here, but they're doing well. Doing very well. So that's why I think it's important to grow diversity. More of a polyculture. Grow things that are together. Right? Like this is different than this, right? But they're here growing together. And it's so much aroma here, so much aroma from this lemon balm, this mint, this silver thyme, this lemon thyme. It's so much scent that I don't have pests. Usually there's a lot of bugs that will come out and actually start to eat these things that are out here, but then they have something next to it that maybe they don't like the scent of, so guess what, they leave. So like ants don't like anything lemon, right? So but they do like mint. So they'll take aphids. They'll partner with aphids and bring them to the top of the mint so they could secrete the sugars, and then the ants can use the sugars, and in return the aphids get something to eat. So since they don't like lemon, if you could grow things like lemon balm, lemon thyme next to your like strawberries and stuff like that, they'll stay away from them because the lemon scent is too strong for them, and it messes up their scent, because you know they have a scent that they go by to get through every day. They smell each other and leave us a scent as they walk, and lemon is too strong. It's too strong of a scent, so it kind of disturbs what they do. So that's very important when it comes to companion planting, right? When you get diversity, you get, you know, things like that, right? You get things like that come with companion planting. You want things right next to each other, right? You know, people say give it spacing, give it this, give it that. I say let the plant decide if it can make it there or not. You know, that's why I don't, plant starts really help out because you could plug them in wherever you want, but you can't put plants densely together like this when you are putting in like plant starts. But when you go from seed or just seasonal, or you do both, you use plant starts, you go from seed, but you see how close these plants are growing from seed? So when they get bigger, they'll actually be real close and they'll actually produce more, right? They'll protect each other during the summer when it gets real hot, right? So I encourage you guys to companion plant. I encourage it, guys, because at the end of the day, you're gonna get more production, right? So this is just a kumquat tree right here, right? And I companion planted this with some peppers and a tomato, right? And I do have a lot of variety of plants. I have a lot of just different types of plants. So let me know if you guys have any questions on what you guys want to know, what you guys want to see. Please comment down below. Comment down below. That way I can know what to get out here and talk about. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while, but I mean, I've been doing it for a year. Not that long, but as you can see, everything's doing quite well. So I do want to talk to you guys about a lot more of these varieties of plants. But right now I'm more on the educational part of it. I want everybody to learn, because you need to know about it before you even start, because you don't want to do things the wrong way, because then it doesn't matter if you did it or not, because if all your plants die, it's just useless, right? But just, yeah, here's an update on this guy. It's just really busting out. Garlic flower, guys. And while I got you guys here, I want to talk to you guys about mushrooms. That's what that diversity gets you, that organic soil with organic material and wood chips. But you see, there's wood chips here, and this is where the spores of the mushrooms get to live, right? And from here, with moisture, they can actually thrive, right? If you see, it lived off the wood chip, and it broke the wood chip down, and then it spreads out through the wood and creates more mushrooms, which breaks all the wood down, which then feeds the soil, which then feed the roots, which then feed your plants, which then feed your fruit, which then feed you, right? Now, I don't recommend anybody take any mushrooms they don't know about or didn't do any education on, because these are deadly and can kill you when they're poisonous. But I'm Jamaican, and I do have family that faithfully will come out and eat their mushrooms, right? And it's pretty crazy. I just planted him back in there, but it's all right. It'll die, go back to the soil, and feed the soil. But as you can see, we have some twin mushrooms right here connected. But mushrooms are definitely a good thing, guys. Look how it just grows off the wood. It's called mycelium, and that's how the plant roots talk, right? You might find that you might have different mushrooms growing in different areas, right? And that's why I say you must know about mushrooms. If you're eating mushrooms at home or anywhere, please know what kind of mushrooms you're eating. But mushrooms are very good for the soil. They'll break down the soil. Sorry for the camera. But they'll break down the soil, break down the wood chips, feed the soil, feed the roots, feed the plant, feed the fruit that'll feed you. Right, so if you do see mushrooms, just know they are natural, and they do help the soil. Yeah, these look pretty psychedelic. If you're into that kind of thing, I'm okay, because I don't like seizures and stuff like that. But that looks crazy. That looks like, a fun ride. But I don't like seizures, so yeah, guys, growing variety, right? Growing variety. A lot of these plants, even those mushrooms, will have benefits to your body. So if you know about mushrooms, hey, I say, it's a plant too. So God provided that as well. Learn about it, eat them if you have them in your yard and they're growing the right variety that's edible, right? And nutritious, right? But make sure you guys are out there eating the different variety of things too. Like I was talking to my son, and he really likes oranges. But if all these plants here were only oranges, that would be a monoculture, and we probably wouldn't get that far, right? So I suggest everyone, don't be scared. I'm a living example that you can, grow in close comforts and be comfortable, and the plants will be comfortable, and the plants can thrive. Now you do have to know what you're growing, right? Please know what you're growing, what it's going to do after it grows a certain amount of time, because you can't plant a orange tree in your garden bed. Right? You guys got that, right? No trees in your garden bed. Okay, I'm not gonna act like everyone knows that. I guess you guys probably don't know that. No trees in your garden bed. And when I say no trees, that don't mean that I think you're just gonna go plant an orange tree or a peach tree in your garden bed, but you might throw a tree seed in your garden bed as a beginner, and then end up growing a large tree out of your garden bed that you probably can't remove. So your garden beds are for your vegetables, so you can rotate the crop so they can grow, die when the season is no longer for them, and you could grow something else. Like, as you can see, things actually rotate. There's sections where you see like areas will go dead because of the season, right? And then it'll begin to grow back, right? Or I might have planted new seeds or a new crop, right? But you'll see. And then this bed was just empty. But since I had perennials in here, they actually all came back. I had peppers in here that I grew, that the peppers I threw the seeds back in there. So now the seeds are coming up from plants I grew last year, right? Like here. And then this is a perennial. This is a tomato. Those are plugins that plant starts that I just threw in. But like I said, no trees in your garden bed. I know that's probably a mistake a lot of people probably been through so far. So I'm glad to be able to help the groovy gardeners out there. But as you can see, where this patch used to grow things is no longer growing because of the season. I had melons, but if you see here, the melons are all coming back, or the seeds are coming up. And so we'll have another melon patch here this year. So like I said, don't grow trees here, because you won't be able to remove them. You won't be able to get those annual crops in, because trees you could throw in right in the floor. Those vegetables, those annuals, you want them right here in the in your most nutrient soil to produce you annually the best fruit and vegetables, right? You want things with nice pigments, right? A lot of color. That way you get those phytonutrients from your plants. You want to eat your plants alive, not from the store, guys. I mean, you do want to get your stuff from the store that's grown well, right? At a cheap price. Why not? I do it all the time. But you also want to have things available in your backyard. It's not always peaches and cream.